Hello, awesome people. I hope you're having a great day today. Today we're taking a look at Bertram Russell's short story in this collection, The Tales of the Lovecraft Mythos, which I'll link to in the comments below. I'll also try to find it for you for free because it's in the Pulp Era. It's called The Scourge of B'Moth. It's 34 pages, and I read it last night, again, in just a little under an hour, like 58 minutes. So we'll see, it's an hour. It's in this oversized collection, and it took me about 2 minutes per page as a result, but I knocked it out for the second time. This is a collection we've been looking at for the Lovecraft created Cthulhu mythos that I dedicate to my October months. But this is actually some short stories in the beginning of a section of this that are inspired by Lovecraft, clearly, but which are not in the Cthulhu mythos proper. And this is the first one of them. And I read them when I was going back and doing a deep dive into his stuff back in college, when I found him in my beginning of my third year of college, and then he quickly became my favorite author by H.P. Lovecraft. And I did a deep dive into all of his works for our folks. And I picked up this collection. It's published by Del Rey, so I'll link you to, again, Tales of the Lovecraft. I'll try to see if I can find Bertram Russell's short story too. But this was written, it's not in the Lovecraft mythos, but it's in this, I'm sorry, it's not in the Cthulhu mythos, rather. So I probably won't be doing this in the October month. I'll probably just do it a different month. I remember this being my favorite short story of this section of the book, of things that are clearly inspired by H.P. Lovecraft. And this is clearly inspired by the Call of Cthulhu, and also probably takes some inspirations from The Shadow over Innsmouth, because they have similar endings. So there, and Shadow over Innsmouth, if you recall, is my favorite Cthulhu mythos story that was written by H.P. Lovecraft for you folks. And that was more of a novel in length, not just this fast read for you folks. So again, Bertram Russell, the short story. So what I think of it, going back and rereading it, I'm probably going to be giving this probably something more like a 7 out of 10. Again, I remember that being one of my favorite ones. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was well done, well paced. I wasn't, it left me wanting more. I enjoyed the two point of view characters and their exchange of what's happening. But I also thought that it was very sort of, it didn't add anything to the cosmic horror genre that was being created right around now. It doesn't add anything. It doesn't have anything new to say. It doesn't have an innovative ending, right, that I didn't expect, or something like that, because you already had it, right, with other Cthulhu mythos short stories that Lovecraft wrote that this is clearly inspired by, that I've already mentioned before, and so forth. Anyway, so this short story begins, and I'll keep it spoiler free. Again, I only give you the spoilers for the first 4 or 5 pages that you'll find out in just a couple of minutes to get your feet wet. But basically, our point of view character is a psychiatrist who has just been called late at night, after he had sat down for the evening, by a fellow psychiatrist who works at a local hospital, and it has a section of it for folks that are having mental issues. And then he's older, and so forth. So he calls them, says he's got a case that he wants a second opinion on. He seems like he might be possessed. So rather than just psychically weak and so forth. So our point of view character heads over to the asylum, and on his way over, the car almost wrecks in an accident that was driven by hands that were not his, and so forth, in this foggish area, and in all this nasty wind and rain and fog and so forth. And he gets there, and there's no rain, no fog, and there's no sign of wetness on his car either, and so the guy who called him in gives him a stimulant to make sure he's okay, and then from there they'll begin looking at this patient that he thinks is possessed rather than just mentally ill for folks, and then that patient will begin their deep dive into what's happening with B'Moth. And we'll find out much more about this guy, or creature, or character, or lady, whatever. In probably about 5 or 6 pages after that, which is 5 or 6 pages in, and then for about 3 or 4 more pages, doing a deep dive into it by our point of view character and his friend, the older doctor, and these two psychiatrists and mental health professionals in the early era of that. So there you are. That's basically what's happening with the Scourge of B'Moth. Again, I'm probably giving it a 7 out of 10. For you folks. As a reminder, this channel's name is The Worst Thing About New Books, which is a quote by a French philosopher, Jacques Schubert, who said that the worst thing about new books was that they kept us from reading the old ones. In this case, this is an older work that's from probably roughly 100 years ago, so it's pretty old. So it's definitely an older work that we've forgotten about and it's been lost to time. So that's where the passion of this channel comes from. So have you read The Scourge of B'Moth by Bertram Russell? If so, what did you think about it? Did you agree or disagree with my 7 out of 10? Let's talk about the comments below if you want to talk about the ending or spoilers or so forth. Let's do it. If you enjoyed this, why not hit that subscribe button? There's going to be a lot more of these to follow. And then finally, I want to thank you so much for taking some time out of your day and investing it and watching my videos, because we all have so many things that are happening in our lives and we're pulled in so many different directions. So the fact that you spent this time with me is incredibly humbling, and I appreciate it. So thanks again and have an amazing day.